And guess who I've just bumped into on the foreshore? It's Fran.
Morning, Nicola.
Hi Fran. What have you got down there?
I've just seen, I've got some hoping it's a hole.
Oh, that looks promising.
Doesn't it? Ooh.
Oh, do you get a sense of how much there might be by just touching it?
Yeah, might not be too much, but anyway, it's worth a
Oh,
pull.
look at that little extraction. Certainly worth a pull. Oh, it's still coming. It's still. Oh, yes, yes, very nice.
Yes.
Oh, it's still coming. Look at that.
Look at that.
Oh, yes, it's more than I expected. Oh my gosh.
That's the longest one I've ever had.
It's certainly longer than I thought it was going to be.
Oh,
Beautiful.
Wow.
Beautiful, Fran. Well done.
Look at that.
Fantastic. I saw some bone poking out here and I've started to investigate. I think it's a huge skull. It could be a horse skull or possibly a cow. So I'm kind of invested in this now. So I want to see what it is. A large animal, cow or a horse. So I'm going to see if I can get it out. I'll be back in a minute. And it definitely is a horse skull. So I'm going to take that home with me and give it a good clean under the outside tap. Just as well I've got a big bag and my rucksack here with me. A horse skull. What's this I see? It's a phone. I find a lot of phones on the foreshore. Oh! Oh my goodness. Well, this one is still in working order. I wonder who lost this. Right, okay, well I'll put that in my bag and, well, it's 40... Oh, okay, I thought it said 46%. Maybe I can put it out on Twitter or something later and see if anybody has lost a phone. Usually when I find a phone, they don't work. This is a first. Now I want to show you this because initially I thought it was a little piece of pipe stem. But as you can see, there is no hole going through the middle, and it's definitely pipe clay, but what it is part of a very small wig curler. A small Georgian wig curler. I've got a few of these and some of them are really large, and this one is one of the smaller ones, so for little teeny weeny little curls. You can just see it's got a slightly bulbous end there, which, unless I'm mistaken, would indicate that it's part of a small wig curler made out of pipe clay. It's quite a nice clean foreshore as well, which is always a treat. See all these nails down here, look. Old nails, 19th century nails. And look, this looks like the remains of what could have been possibly a fish trap, some kind of basket, but yeah, more likely an old fish trap, I should think. Now I'm hoping that what I've just seen down here is a coin and not a stone. It's just here, look. Fingers crossed. No, that's definitely a coin. And, oh, pretty worn, but I can definitely see somebody on there, and that looks like a George. Funnily enough, George would definitely have used wig curlers. Yes, look, if you get the light right, you can see him there. Maybe George the Second or George the Third. I still need to brush up on my Georges, but yeah, you can see there, look. Georgius. And the unmistakable profile of a Georgian king. What else have we got around here? Oh look, there is the tiniest tip of pipe stem here, but the reason I'm picking it up is because it's still got the red wax on it that used to be on the very ends of the stems, so that the clay didn't stick to your lips. Oh, look at that. I can keep that. I do have a little box for interesting pipe stems, believe it or not, and it's pretty full. It's overflowing, in fact. Look, here's the horn, the little animal, possibly a goat or a little sheep. The remains from a kitchen, probably. There's lots of bones here. Animal remains used to be just thrown in the river by butchers, slaughterhouses, kitchens. Oh, and we got the swans. Oh, I love the noise, you know. You can hear them well before you can see them. Zoom in on them. Beautiful. Don't you just wish you could fly sometimes? Down here I just saw what looked like a handle just here, and when I gave it a little sort of prod, I can see that indeed it is a handle, and it looks as if there's some kind of fork or something on the end, like a serving fork. So let's take a look at it. It might be really modern, but it might not. Let's have a look. Let's give it a rinse. How do some of these things get down here? I've got to wonder, haven't you? I sprained my ankle a little while back, and it's been a bit weak ever since, so I keep tripping over, and I've got to be really careful. Look at that. That looks like some kind of serving fork, doesn't it? Well, you know, the one that you put in the turkey when you're going to carve it. That's quite nice. I'm not saying I'm going to use it at Christmas or anything, but that's quite a nice handle there. I'll take that home and clean it up, and let's see how it turns out. Maybe a bone or ivory handle. You never know what you're going to find on this Thames foreshore. You never know. Clay pipes, forks, buttons, wig curlers. Looks like a little cross or something. Now that looks like it used to be, or it is, an old piece of jewellery. Is it maybe a plane? An aeroplane? I don't know. But it looks as if there might have been little tiny stones at one point in there, doesn't it? You know, I keep thinking about this phone in my bag, and so all this, I mean, I don't have an iPhone, I've got an Android, but all this stuff keeps popping up, and it says that whoever owns this phone knows where it is, and so I'm really hoping they're going to ring it, because if they rang the phone I could answer it and then they could come and pick it up. But so far they haven't, so I will take it home with me, and then, you know, just in case someone calls. Well, here I am on the foreshore with my mudlarking friend Marina. Hi, Marina.
Hi, Nicola. How are you?
I'm great, thank you. And isn't it looking absolutely spectacular down here?
Amazing, isn't it?
What are you hoping to find?
Oh, something metal, a coin, a button, anything like that at all.
How long have you been mudlarking?
It's coming up to my 4th year. I'm a 3rd generation fossil collector.
Are you?
So my great uncle, who used to have a fish stall back in old London years ago, used to get many fossils from around the world. Some of them were ballast from old ships. My auntie then took the arm up of fossil hunting, and she's inherited his collection. So I'll be inheriting, dare I say, a museum load of fossils one day. Yeah.
Fabulous! What an amazing museum to inherit. Well, let's go and see what the Thames has got to offer us today. Marina, what have you got there?
I have found a porringer handle.
Ooh.
This one's not glazed. I've got a similar one that's just gone into the museum to be recorded. It's the same design, oddly enough, but on a different part of the foreshore.
Lovely, a porringer handle. So what did they have in porringers then? Porridge?
Porridge? Oats?
That's so pretty, isn't it?
It is, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's a bit muddy, but I mean, but yeah, that's going to clean up quite nice. I'm very happy with that.
Well done.
Thank you.
Now just down here there's a nice piece of, well, what I call pearlware or featherware, and I love collecting this to make my pottery fish, so I'll see if I can incorporate this into one of my fish. What have you got there?
An early pipe bowl.
Ooh, let's
Nothing
see.
on it, but it's early.
Oh yes, that's a really nice early one.
Well smoked by the look of it too.
Yes, look at that. You can see where that's been smoked around the edge. That's a.
And
That looks like an early 1600s one. That does. Very nice.
it is, isn't it?
Yeah.
There is
Oh,
one hiding.
there is. Oh, go on then. Do the honours.
Is it just a bowl? Is it just a bowl? Ooh, no, it's not just a bowl. I don't think it's just a bowl.
There we
Might
go.
just be just a bowl.
Place your bets now.
Oh,
Let's see. Oh, that's nice.
it's got. That's plain again. I think it's got some initials on the hill. It has.
Oh, wonderful. So that's interesting, isn't it? You've just found a 1600s pipe. Put them out in your hand like that so we can see the difference in the shape of them, the evolution of the clay pipe. So that one's a nice early one from probably the early 1600s, and then that one is more like, actually, is that Victorian or is that, I can't see. Yeah, that looks more, yeah, maybe
I'd say Victorian.
Victorian. Yeah, I'm not too sure about that one actually, but so different times in history. That's what I love about the Thames. All these things from different periods of history all meet up together on the foreshore. Well done. Now I just turned over this little piece of pottery to discover part of a really beautiful design on there. Unfortunately, quite a lot of it is missing, but it looks like part of an angel or something, or some kind of deity. Maybe holding a bow and arrow, but maybe not. I've just seen an old fork. There's the end, there's the other end, and sometimes these old pieces of cutlery have a mark on them, you know, if they belong to some kind of canteen or something. So let's have a look. Oh, look at that nice fork-shaped mark there, a fork-shaped print. I'm not sure if we'll be lucky on this. Let's give it a little rinse off. Oh, there is something on there, I think. Unless I'm imagining things, it looks like there is some marking just there. See? So, that's pretty exciting, isn't it? So we'll be able to see where this fork originates from. That's really funny, seeing as I just very recently found a serving fork. Oh, what's that?
Piece of fundware.
Oh, yes.
So it's got a large cooking pot or something like that years ago. Keep a grip in the kitchen.
Yes, I love those. It's nice to see that kind of thumbprint that the potter would have made a few hundred years ago.
Very big hands and fingers.
Yeah, very big hands and fingers. Very nice. Do you like pottery?
I do. I come mudlarking for anything, to be fair, whether it's just fossils or pipes. But no, I do have little extensive bits and pieces of pottery which I use in exhibitions and things. But my blue and white, I have a passion for blue and white pottery and tin glazed and anything blue and white that I can make into craft and little hearts and things like that. But it might be the Dutch in me because I'm a fourth generation, I'm quarter Dutch. So
are you? Quarter Dutch?
My granddad came over in the war and he joined the Merchant Navy, married my gran, and the rest is history. So I'm 1 quarter Dutch. Most of me's from Essex, but I don't speak like I'm from Essex.
Dutch and Essex.
Dutch
What a great combination. Look now, just down here there's yet another pipe, and this one appears to have some kind of decoration on it. Now this might be a good video to explain why there are so many clay pipes. Well, one of the reasons is that they were disposable. People only used to smoke them once or twice before they were thrown away. There were loads and loads of clay pipe makers, and so clay pipes were abundant, and so people just didn't look upon them in the same way that we do now. We look at them and think, oh look, aren't they lovely little works of art? But yeah, people used to smoke them and then throw them away. This one looks like a nice armorial clay pipe bowl. It could also be 1700s. Let's see if we can take a closer look at the design on it. And also, I mean, since tobacco was introduced in 1580, smoking pipes was very, very popular. It was practically encouraged. So men, women and children used to smoke at one point, and it was recommended to ward off the plague. And so there were, you know, hundreds and thousands of people smoking. They really aren't dissimilar to our modern day cigarette ends. I can't quite see what's on here at the moment, but I'm pretty certain that yes, there's like a little emblem there possibly a coat of arms. So yeah, this is what is known as an armorial clay pipe, and when it's faded to this nice creamy colour, we'll be able to see a lot more closely exactly what it is, but I suspect it's Georgian.
Another piece of thumbware.
Oh, another piece of thumbware.
Another piece of thumbware. It's like, wow. I'm a happy bunny. Excellent. My fingers still don't fit though.
Oh yes.
That one's definitely better.
Yeah, that's nice, isn't it? Excellent.
Yes, Nicholas put me in the comfy seat.
Yeah, we found a nice little ropey seat to sit down on and have a little rest. And Marina, how's it gone for you today?
Do you know what? I've enjoyed it. It's lovely. Basically, it's not about quantity of the finds. It's a case of being out there, being out in the foreshore, having a walk, having a laugh. And at the end of the day, you know, it's sort of like it's yin and yang with the tide. The tide either gives you some finds or it doesn't. And today it didn't, but there were a few finds. So, but to me, it's just being out and about and mudlarking with one of my friends.
100%, and I've had a great time. And that incredible mist at the beginning, wasn't it? Wasn't it stunning?
It was absolutely beautiful. I mean, to see that first thing in the morning as well, it's just worth the trip here.
So, I believe you may have brought some of your finds to show us.
I have. Right, okay. So, now my favourite find I've always liked, and you've seen this before, is my Thomas Becket Canterbury Pilgrim's Bell. It's now been recorded by the Museum of London.
Oh, can I see? That is absolutely beautiful find.
So it's got scripture around the side to say Thomas's bell for Thomas Becket.
Can you tell us a little bit about this bell?
This is what pilgrims would have bought, like modern day souvenirs that you'd get if you go to a souvenir or souvenir place. And literally the pilgrims would have bought this to wear like pilgrims badges and stuff like that, go into Canterbury and pay homage to Thomas Becket, who was murdered in Canterbury Cathedral. Now, where I found this wasn't so far away from where he was actually preaching a couple of days before he actually went to Canterbury and sadly got murdered. He was created a saint, and other trinkets that were around at the time were little vials of water mixed with blood. It's said to be Thomas's blood. Little bells, which were complained about because of the tinkering noise, and also the pilgrim badges as well. There is a stain, bless him, on the steps where he was murdered, and there's also a legend to it, as if the stain gets darker, then there's trouble in the country. If the stain is faint where his blood was, then all is well.
Fascinating. What a find! That really is extraordinary. Well done. Well done.
So that's my favourite find. So that's that one. I've got a little toy anchor. This is the only little metal toy I've actually ever found on the Thames. So that would have been a child's toy of a little ship.
Oh, look at that little tiny anchor. Gorgeous.
So yeah, he hasn't been recorded, but it doesn't need to be. That's fine. I found this recently, which is my first trader's token. It's French. It went for an appraisal at the Museum of London yesterday, and it is quite common. It's 1800s.
1800s. And does it have some initials on there?
Yeah, it's H and E on it.
H and E.
It looks more like a C, but it is an E, and there's a little fleur-de-lis in the corner.
Lovely. What's on the other side? Is anything on the other side?
It's blank.
Blank on the other side.
Yeah.
Wonderful. I love finding those. It's super to have those initials of somebody from so long ago, isn't it?
It is indeed. Next up is my biggest bead that I've found. So these are trade beads.
Oh, yes.
Not sure on the age of this. If you put it in water, it's black, but it's got a slight dark blue hue to it. That was found near where the ships and things used to sail from, taking immigrants across the water back in the day.
Put it in the palm of your hand and turn it around a bit. Is that made of glass?
It is glass, yeah. Yeah, it is glass.
So these were used as ballast and also used to trade in commodities.
Yeah.
Including human commodities.
Sadly so.
Yeah, that's stunning. Beautiful find.
And my last find I brought with me, this came out of the museum yesterday. It's been recorded this week. It is a bone dice, or die. But this allegedly, they think, has come from the Fleet prison. So that's anything from 1550 up to 1600.
Is it bone?
It's bone, yeah.
And made by a prisoner?
Made by a prisoner, yeah. Sold as a souvenir.
Probably. Gosh, look at that. Imagine the story behind that.
Exactly.
In fact, at home I do have a little container with what I think are these dice made by prisoners, given to me as a gift by my friend Charles.
Okay.
So I will get those out as well, actually, and put them on the screen to show people. But yeah, that's amazing.
Thank you.
Marina. Well, you found some incredible things, and I happen to know as well that you found something else which I was, let's say, so impressed with. Absolutely gorgeous, and you took it to get recorded. Let's hear about it.
Yeah, that's the fabled onion bottle that I found late summer this year. It has gone in to be recorded by the museum. It went in yesterday. It's dated from 1685 to 1718. And it comes from the Mitre Tavern in Holborn, which still stands today. There is a cherry tree outside the pub where apparently Elizabeth I danced around before she was queen.
Really? So the Mitre Tavern, and there's a beautiful seal on there, isn't it?
Yeah.
So with the mitre on, so wow, such a lot of history. Now, as you know, I've got a few onion bottles, but none of them have had a seal on. So yeah, I think that's just brilliant that you found one with a seal on. And
totally unexpected as well. I mean, if I was destined to find it, it's probably, I don't know how I did find it. It was a case of, it was a summer's afternoon, low tide. Went out for a drive, thought, go mudlarking, why not? Got down onto the foreshore, stayed down there 15 minutes. There was another mudlarker coming the other way. He walked past this mud stack with a glass plate, literally was a glass plate that was jutting out. And I looked at it and went, what is that? And I thought, well, it's worth a go. And I started digging around it. It was literally horizontal. And off it came, and sort of like digging round and round and round. It's bulbous and went in. Then the neck started to funnel, and I thought, I can't be this lucky. There's no way this is going to be complete. Dug round it and thought, right, moment of truth. Is this going to be real or whole or whatever? And I moved it and it came out. I don't know what I said, but I know I screamed, and there was a guy on the wall, and he literally like said, "You all right down there, love?" And I sort of like, I found a bottle. So that has to be a very, very close favourite find as well, but it is the bell that's obviously the favourite find. But I can't wait to have my bottle back, but I won't be getting it back till after it gets recorded, so somewhere in the summer.
fantastic. Is there anything that you would really like to find?
Ooh, complete Bartman chug.
No, that's for me.
What else would I like to find apart from a Bartman jug? Do you know what? Whatever the Thames gives me, I'm grateful for.
Yeah.
And that's what it's all about at the end of the day.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much, Marina. And I'm just going to get a better look at this lovely ropey seat that you're sitting on, because it's really good, actually. This could become a thing.
I'm kind of like siding this way, but it's
Excellent. Well, thanks for coming out with me, and I will see you again very soon. Now, look what I've just found down here. It looks like a tiny anchor, not dissimilar to the one that Marina showed us earlier on. Ooh, what's this? I saw that down there and I thought, oh, that looks like a little bit of pewter or something. And I was right. Ooh, what is this? Look, there's a lovely design on there. It's part of something. But what I've just seen some teeth down here. They look like meat-eating teeth, I think, although I don't know, I could be wrong. But let's have a look at this jawbone here, look. See it? See those teeth? Are they meat-eating teeth or maybe not, maybe not. Let's have a look. Ooh. No, maybe not. Maybe it's a sheep or something. A perfect half a skull. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe you out there watching know. Anyway, I'm going to take it because I quite like skulls. Hi everyone, thank you very much indeed for watching my video. How are you all? I hope that wherever you are, wherever you're watching from, that you're in good health and in good spirits, and that your week or your weekend is going really well and according to plan. I hope too that you enjoyed those excursions on the Thames foreshore. It's always lovely to get out there and go mudlarking with friends, and it was such a pleasure to bump into Fran and share the extraction of her first long clay pipe from the Thames mud, and actually just afterwards she went on to find another long pipe, so she had a really good day. And it was also really lovely to spend time with Marina, so thank you very much Marina for coming mudlarking with me. It's wonderful to see the River Thames as well in all these different seasons, in the summer, the winter, the autumn, and that particular day where all the mist was there on the river, it was so cold but so incredibly beautiful to be there and see the old Royal Naval College completely shrouded in mist. It really sort of made me think that that must be what it was like in Dickensian times. It was just such a lovely atmosphere. So very special to be there. And although on that side of the river we didn't find a great deal, it was just worth it to be there for that incredible ambience and view. So Marina had some amazing finds, didn't she? And it was very hard to find a favourite amongst those finds that she showed us. I must admit that I have a leaning towards the onion bottle, which you must be looking forward to getting back, Marina, from the Museum of London. Just wonderful to have found one with a seal on it, and especially a seal that you were able to trace and find out all about. That really is still on my wish list, to find an onion bottle with a seal. I mean, I've done really well with onion bottles over the years, let's be honest, but I've yet to find one with a bottle seal on, so well done. And also that Pilgrim's Bell, what an incredible find. So do go on over and take a look at Marina's Instagram, which is Tunbridge Wells 1975, and see some of the other lovely gifts that the River Thames has given to her over the years. So I have got here next to me a lovely selection of Thames finds, and many of them are actually Georgian. So I'm going to start with the older finds first, and then I'll finish up with the modern find of the iPhone and give you an update on that at the end. So let's start with this little coin here, which is a King George III farthing, and some of you might be a little bit annoyed because I have actually polished it up, and I know that we're not really supposed to polish old coins, but I'm going to put this one on display, and I'm really pleased I've polished it up. You can see King George III there looking all very splendid. And so King George III, he reigned from 1760 to 1820, so he reigned for 60 years, and he would have been familiar with quite a few of the things that I've got on this table here, including the wig curler, this tiny wig curler here, which is actually one of the smallest that I've ever found. So these would have been heated up and then used to curl wigs. So So this one would have made lots of tiny curls. They're made of pipe clay, and they were often made by clay pipe makers. And King George III definitely would have worn a wig, and his servants would have used those wig curlers to make his wig nice and flouncy, so that he would look all very sort of bouffanted for his Georgian banquets. Now, I was looking for some of my other wig curlers that I've found over the years, but I couldn't find any of them apart from this one, which is completely the opposite of this one. This one is actually really huge. So this one must have been used for nice big ringlets, whereas this one was for more kind of teenier curls. They would have also been used by King George III's wife, Charlotte. And the reason I'm mentioning her is because I've been trying to find like a Christmassy connection with some of my mudlarking finds here next to me. And it turns out that Queen Charlotte introduced, or she's credited with introducing Britain with the tradition of the Christmas tree. Queen Charlotte was German, and that's where the tradition originated. And so she brought that tradition over here. So thanks very much for that, Queen Charlotte. I haven't put my tree up yet. Some people put their tree up at the beginning of December. I tend to wait till about the 17th or the 18th, but it's lovely to have that Christmas tree up in the front room, and then you know that Christmas has really arrived. So some other things down here that King George III would have been familiar with are these pieces of pipe stem with red wax on. Now this is the tiny fragment that I found, and I always pick them up because they're a really good example to show people of how clay pipe stems were. They would all have had this bit of red wax on the end so that one's lips did not stick to the clay. Here's a nice one here, a lot longer. And of course, often we find clay pipes now without the wax on, you know, it's disintegrated into the mud, or maybe some of them didn't have wax on, but certainly a lot of them did. And if you're lucky, you can find a clay pipe or at least some stem with some red wax still on it. And you can be sure that the person who smoked it, their lips did not stick to the pipe. Now this clay pipe here is an armorial clay pipe. These often are adorned with crests and coats of arms, Prince of Wales feathers, etc. And this one, I believe, has a Georgian coat of arms here. I've got quite a lovely collection of armorial clay pipe bowls, and many of them are from Georgian times, so I'll put a picture up on the screen so you can see what they look like. So King George III, indeed, he could have sat there with his lovely flowing wig, smoking armorial clay pipe with some red wax on the end of it, of course, next to the Christmas tree. You never know. That's the thing with these finds, they do get your imagination going, don't they? So moving on a little bit to more Victorian times, we've got this serving fork here, which has a lovely bone handle. It could have been on a Victorian family's Christmas dinner table. It's actually rather lethal, very, very stabby indeed. I won't be using it on my Christmas turkey, but I have cleaned it up quite nicely, and yeah, you know, something like this, I can't help wondering how it made its way down onto the Thames foreshore. Staying on the subject of cutlery, we've got this fork here which has also cleaned up quite well, and this fork would have been in a restaurant or a canteen belonging to Southern Railway. So gone are the days that we have nice cutlery like this in railway canteens or restaurants. But I did manage to find out that there were some nice Christmas parties that went on the train, and Southern Rail actually dates back to the early 1920s. I don't know, railway food just isn't the same anymore, is it? Once I won a competition when I was a teenager for writing a poem about railway safety. It was run by Radio 1, And I got invited. I lived in Cornwall at the time, and I got invited up to London to meet Johnny Morris. Does anybody remember Johnny Morris? He used to do lots of impersonations of animals. So I went up with a group of other winners on the train from Cornwall up to London. And you know what? We did have an amazing meal, and I think we even had proper cutlery. But that is the only time I remember eating something really delicious on the train. Now it's mostly kind of old sandwiches and packets of crisps, isn't it? And they're all so expensive. But anyway, I digress. What else have we got here? Well, we have now come to the largest find, which is the horse skull. And I've actually got 3 horse skulls now. This one is the smallest one. You can see one behind me on my top shelf there, I think. And I've got another one next to me on my left, which I think is a really old one, possibly even Roman, but I'm not sure about the age of this one. I did actually manage to find a Christmassy tale associated with horse skulls, believe it or not, and it relates to an old Welsh folk custom which dates back to at least 1800. I'm going to just read you what I found out about it. It's the first time I have ever heard of it before, but it is a Welsh folk custom related to horse skulls, and it's called Mary Lloyd. I think that's how you say it. So the tradition involves a horse skull mounted on a pole and carried by someone hidden under a cloth. At Christmas time, groups of men would go house to house with the horse skull, hoping to gain entry to get food and drink. Some of these customs, they really are so fascinating, aren't they? I don't know what my neighbours would think if I got my horse skulls out and went round and tried to get some food and drink. I'm not sure they'd let me in. This also bone and teeth related. This here, I believe, is a pig or part of a pig skull, or maybe even boar. Maybe somebody out there can confirm. Now we get to the iPhone update. Well, do you know what? It's easier to trace the long gone owner of a 19th century padlock than it is to trace the owner of a modern iPhone. This one surprisingly worked, and even more surprisingly, I was able to charge it up when I got home, considering it must have been in the river for at least a good few hours. And of course, I imagine it was stolen and thrown over the river wall. Whoever lost it or had it stolen has reported it lost, and so that means nobody can ring it, not even them. So, you know, my hope that somebody might ring was never going to happen. I decided to put it out on social media to see if I could find the owner, so I put it on Twitter and Facebook. It was shared a huge amount of times, but no joy. Now, I didn't take it to the police because, as far as I understand, the police are not going to help to find the owner of a stolen iPhone. I didn't go to an Apple store either. I'm told by somebody who works at Apple that they aren't going to be able to trace the owner, and also I don't have time to go into town and go to Apple stores. That's the truth of the matter. What I did do is I went into a shop in southeast London, one of these phone shops, and said I was trying to find the owner. Was there anything else I could try? So he suggested that we take the SIM card out and put it into a little phone like this. So I bought this phone for £20. We put the SIM card in. So we discovered what the number of the phone is, and the SIM card is not locked. So he said one of their friends or somebody is bound to call at some point or text, and then you'll be able to find out if they know the person who has had the phone stolen, and you know, we can reunite the person to their phone. Well, I was pretty excited because I was pretty certain that somebody was going to call or text, and they haven't. Nobody's called, nobody's texted. So I can only imagine that whoever had this phone stolen must have had it stolen pretty soon after they bought the phone, because maybe they just simply hadn't given the number to anybody. So it's a really sad, frustrating situation. But certainly, if anybody out there lost or had their phone stolen in Greenwich a couple weeks ago, what would that be? Where are we now? End of November. Then get in touch. I could have your phone. If you let me know the number, then I can reunite you with your phone. But currently, my mission has failed. Oh, that was a phone that made a noise there. That was my phone. See, I don't have an iPhone. I've got an Android phone. And right now I've got 3 phones here. And this one really evokes memories, because actually I had one like this when I first had a phone. And it's interesting how things change so quickly. And in a way, I kind of wish that I still had a phone like this, because it's so much less complicated than the modern ones, and they're just purely functional, aren't they? Whereas you can just waste so much time on smartphones and iPhones, and they just become way too addictive, and they just, yeah, you can just waste so much time on them. So maybe I'll go back to having one of these. Apart from the fact that they are so much cheaper, £20 versus apparently over £1,000 for this. And on the theme of anchors, the person who won the anchor giveaway last month never got in touch with me, and I've given them plenty of time now. So I'm going to redo this giveaway. So it's a silver anchor here, and it has in it a little tiny Thames found garnet. It was made by my friend Wendy Meister of Folksy Jewellery of Clark Jewellery on Folksy. Wendy makes really lovely jewellery which is often inspired by the River Thames, and so she gave me this to do a giveaway. And so if you would like to win this anchor, please put a comment below saying what you've enjoyed about this video, followed by hashtag anchor. Let's keep it simple. Hashtag anchor. And in my next video, I will announce who has won this lovely anchor and chain. And also, just to let you know that often when people do giveaways on channels, you get these dreadful scammers that come along and answer your comments and try to pretend to be me and say to WhatsApp me and that you've won a prize. And just to let you know, these people are not me. They are just scamming, and they do just want to get your money. So don't believe them. I will never reply to a comment like that to you. I'll never ask you to WhatsApp me or anything like that. So they're not me. So just ignore them or report the comment, and I'll try and delete them as soon as possible. But don't get taken in by it. And by the way, if you're a scammer and you're watching this, know that on my channel you will not fool us. We know better than to be taken in by your silly, horrible, nasty scams. So that's it from me now. So I'm really looking forward to seeing you again very soon with more adventures from the River Thames or elsewhere. I would like to say a huge thank you again to you for watching my video, for all your support and for your comments and your emails, your IDs on my finds. I really appreciate hearing from you. Thank you too to everyone who has donated to my Ko-fi or my super thanks. And thank you mostly for being yourselves. I truly appreciate each and every one of you. I hope that if you are preparing for Christmas, everything's going well. Don't get caught up in that Christmas stress. Just take it easy and relax. And it can be so easy, can't it, to get a little bit stressed at Christmas as it sort of suddenly comes upon us before you know it. Suddenly Christmas is here and you always feel like you have to do so much. But yeah, don't get stressed about it. So that's all from me, and I'm looking forward to seeing you again very soon. In the meantime, take care, and I'm sending you lots of love from here in London. Bye-bye.
clears my mind. I'm all for a good start. I hear those jingle bells, people singing about love. It feels like I'm a kid, like I'm forever young. And that's why I wanna sing about the Christmas on its way. A reason to hang around and celebrate this day. Everyone's smiling and it's snowing. It's the time of year again. I'm happy you're here, my winter wonderland. I'm walking around making small talk with people that pass me by. I share a laugh, it gives me joy that everyone's having a good time. I hear those jingle bells, people singing about love. It feels like I'm a kid, like I'm forever young. And that's why I wanna sing about the Christmas on its way. A reason to hang around and celebrate this day. Everyone's smiling and it's snowing. It's the time of year again. I'm happy you're here, my winter wonderland. No, it's the time of year, winter wonderland. My winter wonderland is the time of year.